Hey guys, welcome to another coaster review. In this video, I'm going to be reviewing the Incredicoaster at Disney's California Adventure. This roller coaster is an intimate launch coaster built back in 2002, and it is a really good ride. It's one of the longest roller coasters in the world. It's got a launch and a lift hill, which is really unique for a roller coaster. And in this video, I'm going to be giving you all my thoughts on this ride. First, getting started, I am going to tell you about when you go to this park where you will find this ride. Alright, and you will find this ride at Pixar Pier, which is towards the back right side of California Adventure. It's not the biggest park, but you should be able to find this ride. It's pretty easy to find. And on the out of the one of the pathways, in Pixar Pier, you'll see the Incredibles kind of sign for the Incredicoaster, and you will walk under there, and then you'll find the entrance to the ride. And normally, this ride never has too long of line because it has such a high capacity compared to other rides at the Disneyland Resort. My guess is it gets almost 2,000 people per hour, which is insane for a roller coaster. And just to not to mention, like, this ride is just beautiful to look at. Like, look how nice it is. It's one of the nicest looking rides out there. So when you board your train, this roller coaster does have an over the shoulder restraint, but it's not too bad. You don't get any headbanging because this ride's basically glossy smooth. So when you roll out of the station, you kind of go through a little S bend, and you go under a bridge and get ready for the launch. And this is a really good part of the ride. Everyone could watch the launch go. And then as soon as you take off, it's not the fastest acceleration, but it is beautiful. You start gliding. You can see everyone around you. It's just so nice. And you're not to mention you're right beside rocks onto the water, as you can see right there. So after that launch, you pull up into kind of an airtime hill, and you don't get you don't get like sustained airtime, but for a quick pop, you get like a second of quick ejector. Honestly, it's very good, especially in the front. The back, it's more floater, but the front, you get a nice pop of ejector, probably the best parts of airtime on the ride. And then you kind of dive back down into like a wide kind of turn that's really high off the ground. I thought this part was going to be really slow going into the ride, but it ended up being actually really fast. And then after that element, you kind of do a quick transition to the other side, and then you start climbing up your lift hill. And this lift hill is really nice because you go up through the tunnel, and you get some theming in there. You could hear Jack and all the Incredibles characters talking. It's really nice. And then you kind of go down the drop, which is actually a fairly good drop. I don't know how tall it is. I think my guess it's around like 140, 130 feet. I think around there, 120-ish. But it feels really good. It's definitely the best drop at the Disneyland Resort because, I mean, they don't really have that many good drops, right? But after that drop, you pull up into another kind of fast helix. It's not forceful at all, but, I mean, it's pretty fun, I'd say. Definitely a good helix. And then after that helix, you kind of dip down into a little drop, and then you go up into a vertical loop, which is actually quite forceful. This part is the only part of the ride where it actually has a minor vibration, which is a little unfortunate, but it doesn't take away because this loop is very forceful, and it goes right across the Pixar Pier sign. After that, you hop up into, yet again, another mid-course, and then this part is very good because then there's a tunnel, and you drop right through the tunnel, and you see one of the characters from Incredibles. I can't remember her name, but you dive right under her into the tunnel, and then you drop down. You go into a faster pace helix towards the ground, and then after that you go into another mid-course break run, of course. And then after that mid-course, you have a few little bunny hills where you actually do get a little pop of floater, I'd say. It's not really ejector, but it's nice. Then after that, surprise, surprise, you have another mid-course break run. And then finally, you ended off with another helix. That's actually the most forceful part of the ride, other than the loop, I would say. And then you slam into the brakes, ending your amazing ride and journey on Incredicoaster. This coaster is very fun. it looks beautiful as you can tell at night. Like it is stunning at night, and all the lights reflect on the water, so you can look at the water, and it's just beautiful. Everything about this ride is great. It's easily in my top 15 roller coasters. I love this thing so much. I've ridden 64 coasters. Being in my top 15 is quite impressive. And this coaster does it. Yes, some of the boring parts of this ride are not the best, but the good parts are very fun. And the theming and everything about it just makes me want to just keep riding this amazing roller coaster. And it's just so nice. Uh, Beautiful. It's a beautiful ride. Now I'm going to show you the POV of this ride. Okay, here we go. So, the Incredicoaster, of course, that's the sign I was telling you about. But like this coaster is just very good. For a score, I would probably give it a 9 out of 10. I think it's got everything a good coaster should have. It's not the most forceful, but for a family coaster, which this kind of is a family coaster, it's uh very good. It's got everything you need. It's one of the most fun coasters I've ridden. And the first time I rode it, I like going in, I thought it was going to be fun. I thought it was going to be kind of like okay, kind of like an average roller coaster, but this is a great ride. It's probably my second favorite ride at the park, just behind Guardians of the Galaxy, but slightly better than Radiator Springs, I would say. So a 9 out of 10, I think, is where this ride it should be. Okay, now I'm gonna like here's the POV for you to watch if you haven't seen it already. So that's the launch I was telling you about. Kind of go up. This is where the nice little pop of airtime is right there into the tunnel. Kind of drop back down. Kind of mid-course brake run. This coaster does have a lot of mid-course brake runs because it helps with capacity. It allows other trains to go into other sections, so it makes this ride run like 4 or 5 trains, which is crazy for a roller coaster, especially one that has probably 30 riders each train, which is crazy. And that was the lift hill, as you can see. And then this is where the biggest drop is. It's not the biggest drop, but it is very good, I'd say. Fast-paced helix over the station. It's not too forceful, it's just fun. Kind of glide. This is the dip I was telling you about into the forceful loop. Then you hop up into, surprise, surprise, another mid-course brake run. Drop down. There's that incredible character that was right there. Go into a fast-paced helix. This is probably one of the best helixes on the ride. It's not the most forceful, but it's just very fun. And another mid-course. This is the airtime hills. And I'm not even kidding. On these airtime hills, you actually smell like cookies for some reason. I don't know why, but you smell cookies on those air hills. I just don't know why. Go into the final helix, kind of. Then you slam into the brakes. Overall, a great roller coaster. I definitely recommend it. And yeah, great ride. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment below your thoughts on the Incredicoaster, and let me know if you agree or disagree. I'd love to know your opinions. And if you want to see more videos in the future, just let me know, and I will sure do that. Okay, thank you for watching, and goodbye.